So hello techies, welcome to the video. In this video we are going to talk about how to license software under open source licensing. When I was the student, I was also have the same doubt how we can license our software with the open source licensing, right? So let's get started and see how we can license our software under the open source licensing. Okay, the authority, where do they come, right? Most of the open source licensing come from the open source initiative, right? The most popular open source license have an important aspect common in them, right? All of them have some common particular things in them, right? They originate from the open source initiative, right? Now, what is open source initiative? We have talked in our earlier videos. OSI formed in the 1998 with the goal of promoting open source softwares. It has created the open source definition to define what an open source software means. Okay, so most open source licenses include the following statements: software can be modified, used commercially, and distributed. Software can be modified and used in private. A license and copyright notice must be included in the software. Now, what that line means? Now, this means whenever you are publishing your software, right, at that time you should include a copyright notice and particular licensing at that time, right? Now, fourth thing is software author provide no warranty with the software and are not liable for anything. Okay, now whenever we are publishing software in the open source licensing, we do not hold any warranty of the software and not liable for anything, right? It can be malicious or anything else. Okay, we do not liable for anything. You have seen this particular notice in the Linux installation, right? Whenever we install any free Linux, in that we see this kind of notice. Now we will go through the most popular licenses in order from the most restrictive license to the most permissive, means the best for the user. Okay, so let's start with the GNU General Public License version 3. There was a version 2 also, but they have same characteristics, so I chose version 3. Now GPL version 3 is one of the most restrictive license uh, from the user perspective. It offers high protection for the author of the software. If you are making the software, it will provide you high protection, right? The source code must be made public whenever a distribution of the software is made. Okay, now next term is modification of the software must be released under the same license. If you are the author and someone is copying your code, that particular person should release the code under the same licensing. Now fourth term is change made to the source code must be documented every time. Whenever a user making the change in your software, it should be documented, well documented. The fifth point is if the patent material was used in the creation of the software, it grants the right for user to use it. If the user sues anyone over the use of the patent material, they lose the right to use the software. The GNU General Public License is the most restrictive license in our list, right? So let's move ahead with the Apache license 2.0. Now first point in Apache license is the source code doesn't need to be public when a distribution of the software is made. The second point is modification to the software can be released under any licensing, right? This was not present in the BSD. Now third term is changes made to the software code must be documented. It is compulsory in this license. It offers the same patent usage protection as GPL. Now let's move ahead with the third license, Berkeley Software Distribution. Now BSD has two main versions, 2 clause and 3 clause. They both offer more flexibility to the user than the Apache license 2.0. The source code doesn't need to be public when a distribution of the software is made. Modification to the software can be released under any licensing. Changes made to the source code may not be documented. Now, the most important one is it offers no explicit position on patent usage. This thing was not present in the Apache license 2.0, right? Now with that said, let's move ahead with the most permissive license, MIT license. MIT is the one of the most permissive license for the user. It is also the most popular one. It offers very low protection for the author of the software. The source code doesn't need to be public when a distribution of the software is made. Modification to the software can be released under any license. Changes made to the source code may not be documented. It offers no explicit position on the patent usage. So now let us see how we can make our software public and make our software licensed under these licenses. We can use GitHub to license our software under these licenses. So let's see how we can license them. So for this you should have a GitHub account and you should be on your dashboard. Okay, now from here you should click a new button. Then you should name your directory. Let's name it as example. Okay, in this directory you are going to append your code, whatever you wanna make public, right? After this you can make the readme file and can select license from here. Okay, for now I am selecting the MIT license because it is most permissive license with the user perspective. Let's create a repository. Now you have successfully created your directory. From here you can make new file and upload your own files. Okay, so that's it for this video. Thanks for watching this video.